G'day, I'm Scotty.
G'day, I'm Becky and welcome back to part 5 of our chess table building.
In part 5 we're going to start the board again. It was a big decision, but our reed switches were quite temperamental. So what we've done is we've got a whole bunch of Hall effect sensors, which are electronic rather than mechanical based. And they seem to be quite a bit reliable, not quite as sensitive, but they should do what we want.
We've redesigned our squares, which you can see we've made them actually a little bit thinner than the original ones, only due to the fact that with the reed switches and the diodes we had to make it a little bit thicker, and then with the new Hall effect sensors we could actually allow that thinness to come into play.
Yeah. And the beauty of that is now we've got our baseboard and we've got quite a bit thicker one, and that's because our old one, which was really thin, started to bow down at the bottom when it was on the table for a while. And we've also made our pieces that are going to hold the squares a little bit thinner because the squares are thinner, and now we've got quite a nice profile on our table where it's quite thin altogether.
Which then you can actually see when we put the 3D print squares up against it, they're going to be nice and flush with the wood that we're using for the actual table.
And this time we're going to actually make the board as a separate piece that we can insert into the table and put the glass over the top. But then if we choose to, we can take the whole board out and play with just the lights. And when we want the magnets to move for the computer player, we'll put it into the table and they'll fit under the board there to do that.
Multi-chess table. Yeah. So we've got our Hall effect sensors, which we now have to bend so they'll fit into our 3D printed squares, and we've made a jig for that purpose, just 2 pieces of wood and some screws, and we'll just see how we go with bending them in.
I've got all the wires soldered onto the lights now, and all the Hall effect sensors are soldered on as well. So now I'm just going to mark out the frame and route some grooves so I can join up the light rows together. So they're going to come in and go around in a snake-like pattern. So I'll mark out where the start will go in and out of each one. The next marks I'll make are where these wires are going to go in. I'll run them in and down the side and out where my Arduino is going to go. So I'll just mark them on the top for now so I don't confuse them with the other ones. And for these wires I'll do the same, where I'll run them in and I'll cut a groove down to bring them back up. So I'll just mark where the middle of the wires are. Now comes the nice tricky one where I'm going to try to use my little router to cut the grooves for the wire and a big groove all the way down. So we'll see how that goes. Got the grooves cut into the wood now, which will hold the wires so we can hook the LEDs up. So we'll hook them up now and solder them into place. I've 3D printed some little rectangles here, and these are hollow to hold all the wires together, so that way I can stick them onto the table and run the wires through them, and they'll fit in the grooves I've cut on the wood. That way I can be sure the wires will go in and stay there, and I won't have to sort of mess around trying to get them to go in the groove every time I want to take the wood on and off. So I'll give that a go of sticking them on with some double-sided tape now.
connected the wires to all the electronic components now, so I'll quickly run through how they're going to work. The first Arduino will read the Hall effect sensors in the chessboard squares, and its only job is to detect when chess pieces are added or removed from the board. This board is the Bluetooth board. It will connect to the computer, and it will know when the computer makes a move to light up the squares to let us know, and when we make a move it will send a message back to the computer so it knows our moves. This board is the main Arduino. Its job will be to communicate with all the other boards. It will also light up the LEDs on our squares, and it will communicate with the read effect sensor to send messages through the Bluetooth module back to the computer and handle responses that the computer sends back to it.
So we finally finished the new board and it took forever, but we got it completed.
Yeah. So we'll give you a bit of a demo of how it works now. So we'll show you how it can detect the moves. If I pick up a pawn, you can see it lights it up on the board as well as on our TV screen through the chess program. And I can put it back to say that wasn't the move I wanted, try another one, as well as things like horses. You can see their valid moves, or this horse.
Well, maybe I
Okay.
should do mine.
And if I make a move, it will do it, move it on the screen, and now I'll get Becky to do a move on her side.
I did a move. Ooh, ooh.
And now you'll see if I lift my horse, it shows the valid moves for that square, as on the screen as well as on the board. And I can put him back and just do a different move if I like. And when we do them on the board, it moves on the screen to match.
Okay, so I'll go. I might try bishop. And I'll pick the bishop up, and we get that different angle.
The full diagonal.
Yeah, and we might just go here.
And I'll do.
Oh,
Oh, you didn't quite get him on the centre.
there we go.
There we go.
On the centre.
So if I do my bishop, I'll start setting up for.
Oh, you already did it.
Oh, I put you in check, Becky.
That was in how many moves? You
Don't
asked.
check though.
Ah. Hang on. All right. I've got it. Ready? Ready? Da, 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 da.
Nice.
Protected.
And now, if I go to do a kingside castle, if I lift up my king, you can see the actual castle square is lit up, and on the screen it shows the little crown meaning the castle. So if I put him there, it now tells me to finish off the castle move with the coloured lights. So I can pick up that one and says, yep, put it there and put it back. And now I've done a proper castle.
That's cool. That actually worked really well.
So we're going to show you a kingside castle as well as a queenside castle at the same time. So I'll set mine up for a queenside castle and Becky will set hers up for a kingside. Becky's going to do a kingside castle, and then I'm set up to do my queenside.
This one,
Yep, always king.
which then shows this.
Yeah, and it shows the extra kingside piece, but then also shows where to move your castle. And then this side will do the same as well. So when I pick up my king, here's the extra square for the castle, and if I put it there, it shows me where to move my castle piece to. So there's a king side and a queen side castle. I've set up the board here to show an example of when you're in check. So if I move these pieces out, and I'll check the king with my bishop. So the main good bit about this is it's only going to light up valid moves that are possible when the check is there, which is good even when you play all the time. We know the basic moves so we don't really need to see them, but every now and then you'll miss when the king's in check and make an invalid move. This helps with not making that happen. So if I pick up this horse, you can see my valid moves are only the two that stop the check. It's not saying I can move over to here. And same if I do the bishop. If I pick up that one, it's saying I can only move to this square, but nowhere down here, because otherwise it's still going to be in check, which is quite handy.
It's almost
when
like
you're
a
playing.
safety mechanism.
Yes. So same with the queen, even though that's as far as it could move anyway. And if I went to move a piece like this horse, it's showing there's no valid moves because there and there still leaves you in check. So it's a nice little feature to have, just so you don't accidentally do what we've done before and then go, oh, hang on, you're in check. Well, we've made a few invalid moves there. Oh, well, we'll just put it back and play like you just went in check then, which is, not the proper way to play. So we've got it set up this time, and this time we've added the Stockfish engine, but not playing against the computer. We're playing two people, but we've added the winning bar down the side here. So the AI engine analyzes our moves and figures out who's winning or not, and we display that in a bar. So a good way to show that is to purposely lose a queen early on, and then we should see the other opponent's winning bar go way in their favour. So do a move out. If I get my queen to here, you set it up
this
to
one.
take it, so move your pawn
Yeah,
so
okay.
you can take it. So I'll put my queen out here, very much in danger. Going to lose that, and you can already see black's got a bit of an advantage now because it knows it's in danger. But watch what happens when Becky takes it.
Oh, I see it on there. Oh, and the purple.
And now you can see Becky's just got the 95% advantage so far in this game. So that's a fun little one when you're playing together, just to see when you have made a bad move and didn't know it. So I'm going to demo now how I can play against the computer. So before we've got all the motors working on our chess table, and if we choose to play it just as a table not inside the actual coffee table, but a nice little board, you can do the computer's move for it. It will show you where it wants to move, and then you just move its piece to play against it. So let's give that a go. So if I move my piece, you can see it all lights up. Now the computer will go and think, and it will tell me where it wants to move. And it does that by the yellow lights. So I'll make the move for it. Okay, so we've installed the test program onto our phone, as you can see, and we've got it hooked up to my original circuit board on the table. So we'll give that a go to show you how it works.
And so if I can press any button.
Yeah, so we've got it homed at the moment. So if you go to H1, we'll get onto the chess piece. Nice. And now you can push any of the letters and it should just go to that square. And this is where I'll program into the chess game the ability to do this, as well as we're going to have to start thinking about when horses move to not run into other pieces and things like that.
All the way up to there.
Nice. But I think we're off to a good start now. We've got an app going on the phone that can do it. And hopefully at some point in the future I might even be able to get the chess program running off the phone rather than the laptop, because then it's a lot easier just to pull out your phone and play it than a whole laptop.
Ah, go sideways. Cool.
We'll give you a look under the table as well. So we've got our circuit board here. It's filling up with wires real quick now. But I'll get Becky to do some movements and we'll watch it from underneath. So you can see we've got the magnet. It's not going up and down or anything at the moment. It's just right against the table the whole time. So
That's not going.
one of our next goals is to make a little mechanism to lift the magnet up and down. But it's all moving quite nicely against the table. So it should work quite well.
That was cool. Okay, thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe and check out our other videos as well.
Yeah, we'll be making some more videos with the chess table, so we're hoping in our next one to get the computer pieces moving with the motors so we can play against the computer and we don't have to move its pieces for it. And we're also hoping to get the winning bar that we've got on the computer somehow built onto the table using some little motors and stuff. So that should be interesting. So make sure you stay tuned to see all that.
Beautiful. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch up in the next video. Okay, bye. Right, you saying g'day or hi?
G'day. It's always g'day. We're
I
Australian.
know. All right.
So
Cheers.
scratching the top.
Ooh.
Double check.
What was your line?
I'm coming after you.
No, for me to say. A little bit thinner than the original one, just up here. I'm like,
You said everything that we said we weren't going to say. And you're like,
oh, shit.
I tell you the squares. Can you see them? Tell me if you can't see them.
I'm trying to get in
It sounded
close. And it's due to the fact that we're going to change it over our reed switches and diodes to our Holofax switches, which are actually
Switches? Trenches? Yeah, half switches. Half sets and half switches.
so well.
Oh, that wasn't my fault. That
Wow.
What?
Switch watch.
Switch
Switch
spots.
watch. Is it still recording?
Yeah,
How do you know?
because it is.
It'd be good if there was a
Just
red
do
light on it. Hang on. I can't tell, but
There's a
your
little green
windscreen
light up
says
there.
something. Is it? The best way to do it is ad-libbing. Ad-libbing.
Well, we can do it
ad-libbing,
10 times.
Ad-libbing? Can't even say the word. Anyway. Yeah, may as well.
So I can add
chuck
lib
it in.
bits, but you got to add lib bits to go with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna, but I just don't gotta know what you say first. I'm not a comedian.
Welcome to. So a good way to show that is to
Persistent.
So if I get my piece there and Becky's pawn jumps past the square, doing a 2-square move where I didn't get the chance to take it, I go to do my move, it lights up red to show I can do an en passant move. So if I put it there, then I can take it, and it just threw big arrows.
Can you press the screen so it's focused? I can't see if it's focused or not.
If you can see it, it's focused.
Okay.
If it's not. So we're just saying, we're starting again.
So we may as well go high
Yeah.
or...
Oh, it works.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Should I subscribe?
I've noticed no one subscribed to our videos.
I'm
We've
not
got
gonna say
26.
that. No, I'll just
Everyone
do
else
the
gets
normal.
1,000 in like
I'll
in
just-
2 days. Why have we only got 26 and it's been like 5 months?
Ah, okay.